On a new sheet of paper, you write out the C major scale again, using letters rather than notation. You then explain that the most common chords are constructed by a series of jumps known as thirds. You write the letters C, E, G in a row below the C major scale and label them root 3, 5 below each respective note. You show and mark on the page that the size of the interval from C to E is 2 tones, and from C to G is 3.5 tones. You explain that it is these intervals that define the E and G as a third and fifth respectively, and the root 3, 5 is the definition of a major chord. This chord is therefore C major, which you write next to the C, E and G. At the bottom of the page, you write root 3, 5 equals major. This area will contain the 3 chord definitions that you'll identify. Have them play at least one C major chord on the guitar neck and have them identify each of the notes in the chord as being C, E and G. Use a printed map of the guitar neck with all the notes written on if necessary. You'll now repeat the process for each of the other 6 chords, defining a flat third as being a tone and a half above a root and a flat 5 as being 3 tones above a root. You define a minor chord as being root flat 3, 5 and a diminished chord as root flat 3, flat 5. You have the student play the appropriate shape for each chord and have them identify the notes within the chord so that they can see that the theory matches what they play. The student is unfamiliar with the diminished chord, so you give them a prepared sheet of the most common diminished shapes. You have the student play the B diminished and highlight the tense character of the chord and its tendency to drive a song back to C major. You can mention that although the diminished chord is not a pleasing sound, it crops up within other more common chords that you will look at in the future. By this, of course, we mean dominant sevenths. You then label each of the chords with their Roman numeral names, 1 through 7. You refer the student back to the sheet with all 12 keys on and explain how, because all the keys are constructed in the same way, 1, 4 and 5 are always major regardless of the key. Similarly, 2, 3 and 6 are always minor, and 7 is always diminished. You then give them a sheet with a guitar neck on it showing the root notes of all 7 chords in the key of C.